Good afternoon. Today we've got a very, very special guest with us. Someone that's fairly new to the school, but the role that she's filled is something that becomes very popular very soon as well. That's none other than our school counselor, and also she's got many other hats as well. She's a careers advisor as well. Probably, I'm sure there's other hats as well. We'll probably she can tell us about. It's none other than Miss Eman Sayed. I've got a photo at the back as well. She looks a bit surprised. I don't know what she's seen. Probably she was shown my photo at that age, and that's why she looks a bit surprised over there. So we'll just pass on to her and tell us and ask her what she does at school and also what that photo is about.
Thank you for the warm welcome, Jafarhan. So, as you said, at school, it's been a awesome sort of learning journey, especially with COVID coming in. So, definitely a lot of hats: school counselor, career advisor, work experience, all that sort of stuff. As for the photo, it's actually at a toy store, and that photo is part of a series of photos, and that's the exact moment I looked up and realized that my dad was taking that photo. So hence the surprise on my face. I saw the camera, and I guess that was my idea of a pose.
Well, yeah, it looks like you're in some kind of a car there.
Oh yeah, well, so this photo was taken when I was 3 years old, and we were actually at this really big toy store. I asked my parents if they knew the name, but they couldn't get it. But next to me is my brother on a motorcycle, and I'm in the car. And yeah, we just took, I guess we had a photo shoot because that's what you did in the 90s.
Oh, yeah. So you probably gave your age away by saying 90s. So probably we're gonna go. You get the viewers started. They'll probably start working your age out now. So
actually, technically, that was very early 2001. So
all right, okay. So we'll get to my questions, and you probably know the jazz already. What the questions are? I'm gonna ask those questions, and also I've got the final moment, the quiz, and I'm sure because you're, the three most important people in this in everyone's life are the spiritual healers, and the mental healer, and the physical healer. So you're definitely a mental healer. So I mean, you're probably one of the most important people in the school. So you probably can get those mental quizzes right, hopefully.
I mean, you're really setting the bar high there, Sheikh Farhan. You're setting me up for failure.
Oh no, I mean, these are just you've probably seen those quizzes before. They probably don't have a right or a wrong answer. They're just there for a little bit of fun. Okay, so my first question, a simple one: what is something that you always wanted to learn?
See, this one was hard because I've been watching the videos, and I think a lot of people have been saying like instruments and languages. So I tried to come up with something a little bit more original, and I landed on a team sport. So growing up, I was very fondly a geek, nerd kind of book. My nose was always in a book. My parents were very academically focused, so it was always tutoring and studying, reading. So I never really got to enjoy a team sport. It was only once I got into university that I started seeing all these like awesome female sort of clubs and stuff like that, that I started like really wanting to be a part of that. So hopefully that's something I can sign up for when we lift from lockdown, inshallah.
Well, that's good. I mean, hopefully, there's a lot of opportunities definitely to go down that path. I mean, personally, myself as well. Also, as you know from these videos, I get to tell about myself as well. For just a surprise, I mean, for everyone, last time I was on a treadmill was 5 years ago. So I'm very scared to go on it. I might break my back. So I'm holding off to that one.
Yeah, no, I think there's something especially about a team sport though. Like, like exercise by yourself is cool and everything, but it's actually the camaraderie that I think is really cool. This idea of like all these people coming together with this one, goal, or to just put the ball at the end of the, field or whatever it is. It's just, I love seeing, I love watching sports, but I've never had the chance to.
Well, I play a team sport. I'm actually very good at cricket. So yeah, probably I could say, hand on my heart, I'm probably the best player in the entire school.
Well, we'll have to test that one day.
Oh yeah, though I think some of the staff have already seen it. Mr. Patel may not agree, but I got him out many times. So hopefully, when he's watching it, he probably knows who's the best.
Oh,
So
well, we'll hopefully get to see it.
we all know something, and there's always something that we say, look, we know that really well. So my question to you, what is something that you say you know well?
Oh, I think for the sake of humility, let me start off by saying that I don't think anything I know I can say at this age or stage of my life I know really well. But in terms of owning my strengths, I guess I would say that I think I can relate to the kids at school really well. Um, you know, I think the psychological sort of and theoretical knowledge that I've learned at university is definitely essential and whatnot. But having actually experienced the sort of quintessential Muslim school student, I was a DP student. I traveled between here and Egypt. I'm a child of immigrants. So there's like a lot of experiences that I think our kids at school go through that I can speak of or speak to from lived experience. So when the kids at school, talk to me about, for example, the pressures of studying or, parental expectations, or, balancing all the identity, I don't want to say crises, but all the identity issues that come up with being, Muslim and a person of color or a woman of color, whatever it is in Australia, all those sort of experiences. I think I can speak to that from lived experience rather than just a place of theory. And I think a lot of the kids respond really well to that because I can come at it from a true place. So
No, I can definitely vouch for that because, growing up in this country, as you said, and also understanding the children culturally on that level, because you're not far off from most of these teenagers. I mean, they probably have come out of school very similar time, probably a few more years over your shoulders. And again, the culture hasn't changed that much over the years. So definitely that cultural aspect goes a long way.
yeah, I think so as well. I think there's something very unique. There aren't many generations. I would say one or two generations of maybe three of children of immigrants. So I think that a lot of cultural questions and identities and are coming up from that we haven't necessarily explored to the deepest extent. Even at university when we're looking at psychological studies that have anything to do with culture, so in social psychology, it's always a monocultural group. So they'll look at Chinese, or they'll look at Australians, or like Anglo-Australians. It's only recently that studies started looking at bicultural cohorts, so looking at Arab Australians or looking at Asian Americans and taking that into consideration, because it's that realization that the new coming generation tends to be very mix and match. So it's really cool to see the space sort of develop in that way.
And you know what? One of the points before going to question number three. Now you've got me talking. One of the points that I actually wanted to also say is one of the biggest issues that we find with these younger ones, but we don't connect to them. And mostly not putting anything against from people that come from overseas, because their challenges, what you've gone through as a child living in this country, you probably could relate to them better than anyone else. I mean, because if someone's lived overseas for a very long time and he's only come here at an age where he's probably only working and he did not even experience the life of school or anything else, he probably may not be able to relate to them at that level, not understanding what those challenges are.
I mean, yeah, I think that definitely. I mean, I actually graduated from AIA. I'm not sure if you know that, but I graduated from the Strathfield campus. So I know when I tell the students that, they freak out. They're like, "What? You used to go to school here?" And I'm like, "Well, yes and no." But yeah, no, I definitely think it gives a certain insight into that experience, and I love that I can talk to them about that, and especially with the senior students, where I'm talking to them about university and what their university experience will be like, because I think that's when the real challenge begins, and when you start to explore some of those identity issues that come up.
Well, look, that was great. So finally, well, I'm sure there's a lot of surprise moments there, but what is people usually surprised to find out about you?
Um, Surprised to find out about me. I think I was just talking about how relatable I am, but one of the things that I'm not that relatable with is that I don't actually have any social media. So no Instagram, no
What?
Facebook, no
No
Snapchat,
Instagram, no
no none of
Facebook.
that, no TikTok. Um, you know what? I actually only recently downloaded TikTok so I can make a primary, like a wellbeing video for primary, and I was on it, and I was like, I felt like 90 years old. I wasn't sure of how to use any of the features, any of the effects. But yeah, I've been off it for about a year and a half now.
Well, you live in medieval times. I mean, I have a Facebook, I have a YouTube, I have an Instagram, I have a Twitter. I don't have a TikTok. It's not my forte. Probably I'm not going to have it as well. So, but yeah, I've got all these other ones. I mean, I'm surprised. You've actually got me surprised there.
There you go. Yeah, no, it's something that I decided to do a while back. I guess as a psych student, you read all these studies and whatnot, and I was really interested in the effect of like social media on sort of our psyche and our emotional well-being. And everything that I read came back really negatively. You know, that's not to say that there aren't positives, and I can definitely see, especially in the time during the lockdown, the benefits of it and staying connected and stuff like that. And that's not to say that I don't consume, obviously, you know, like I love YouTube. I'm always on YouTube. And I like to keep up with the trends and that sort of stuff. But it's just something that
You
I've done.
definitely have WhatsApp, yeah?
Yeah. No, I have WhatsApp. That's a must. I'll be kicked out of the family if I didn't have a WhatsApp. That's how we get all the updates. No, definitely have WhatsApp. But in terms of the more like recent ones like Instagram and Facebook, and or not recent, but you know, trendy ones. Yeah, and it's just been cool. I've been doing the whole traditional make phone calls, call up people, see them face to face instead of seeing them
Well,
online kind of thing.
Well, you've really got me intrigued there. I mean, I was definitely surprised. I've got all the other platforms. I look more like a little mini preacher in front of you, telling people to stay away from all that rubbish. Um,
I I mean, I don't tell them to stay away from it. In fact, usually when parents start to freak out about their kids having social media, my first response is to say, like the idea is to educate them on how to use them rather than take it away. So I'm a very strong advocate for that because I think that's the reality of the kids growing up nowadays. But just as a personal choice, I've seen the effect it has on people and just decided to opt out.
Oh, look, that was really good. I mean, you're the mental doctor, so definitely be advice from you will be really valuable. So, what advice would you like to give to the entire staff and everyone that's watching?
Wow, advice. Okay, that one I wasn't expecting. um, I think the advice I can say is be kind to yourself. It sounds cliche, but I think that right now, we're so focused on maintaining everyone else's well-being, and that's awesome. But also just remembering to turn some of that love inwards and, just being kind to yourself. Sometimes there are good days and there are bad days. And on your good days, pat yourself on the back and appreciate, what you've accomplished. And on the bad days, this is something that I really personally struggled with. There was always this idea and expectation to constantly have good days. Even mentally, it was just like, I always have to be happy. I always have to be okay. And then you just realize that that's not possible. It's not feasible. So just being kind to yourself.
Well, that's really beautiful advice from the mental doctor. Hopefully, we can mentally absorb that. It's important. So now is the fun part, the
Oh,
most important part that I look forward. I'm actually going to share my screen. I'll get that video playing. Listen to it. Take your time. Give you 10 seconds to answer the question. All right.
okay.
Well, I'll take your photo off so I can share that screen where we are. So, okay.
I feel like I'm going to be hopeless at this. I'm just going to chuck that disclaimer out there.
I'm still learning myself. Trust me, I'm getting used to these things myself. Okay, so I'm gonna put the volume up. We'll play it for you. and hopefully you can listen to it as well. Focus. 10 seconds. You have it. I'll give you an extra 5 seconds.
Okay.
The song. A poor man walks into a bar, and there he finds a rich man. He starts chatting with this man and tells him he knows every song in the world. The poor man then says that he can find a song with any name in it that the rich man can think of. The rich man laughs, but seeing that his interlocutor is poor, he tells him, okay, find a song with my daughter's name in it. If he can do that, he'll give him all the money in his wallet, which is about $1,000. Her name is Juliet Alexandria Tomchinsky. After a short while, the poor man walks out of the bar with the rich guy's $1,000. How come?
What was the daughter's name? There was a bit of an echo there.
Juliet Alexandria something. So if you know music really well, he said he can find anyone's name with anyone's name with the song. That's how good he is.
Happy birthday song.
Oh, let's see if that's the right answer.
The answer is the song Happy Birthday. Fill your balls.
That's right. It was the Happy Birthday song. Well, look, I knew that you probably will get this right because you teach people how to take control of their minds. So you needed your own sanity to answer that question. So hopefully,
I am so proud of myself right now.
all right, that's very good. Look, it was a pleasure to speak to you. And we work together in the school anyways with some of the projects, but hopefully, it was really good to know more about you. And I think this was the most uninterrupted conversation that we've had since you started. So I wish you all the best, and it was an honor to talk to you. And you look
Thank you so much.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye. Assalamu alaikum.
Bye.
So what is something you really know well? I know you know a lot of things well, but that's something always, where people say, you know what, I can definitely do that.
Sheikh Farhan, I'm so sorry. Can you give me 1 second? This is going to be one of those bloopers.
Don't worry. I'll edit that and I'll ask that question again.
Okay. Okay. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay.